On the scene, on the story. News on 6 starts now.
Looking out on the Osage Casino Skycam network, it's a chilly morning after last night's storms. Coming up, Steven tells us when rain could return and chances of the season's first freeze.
It's all about the kids and their future.
People are ready for change.
With just days before Oklahomans go to the polls, campaigns are in high gear. Candidates in the hotly contested race for governor make stops in Green Country. And vandals target signs in one town just ahead who's left to pay the damage as police search for suspects. Good morning, everyone. I'm Taylor Newcomb. An Oklahoma store is overwhelmed by the turnout for a medical marijuana growing class. They say the interest in growing the plant in Oklahoma is staggering, but people still have plenty of questions. News on 6's Kaylee Bourgeois has the details. With just 2 days before Tuesday's election, vandals are now targeting political signs across the city of Claremore. News on 6's Tristan Land is on the story with reaction from the candidates. As Oklahomans get ready to head to the polls on Tuesday, candidates for governor are crisscrossing Green Country in a last-minute push to get votes. Democrat Drew Edmondson spent part of his day Saturday in Muskogee, Owasso, and Tulsa. He says Oklahomans are ready for a change and that he represents a real difference between the current leadership.
What has happened in Oklahoma in education and in other areas, and people are just motivated for change. They're ready for something different.
Edmondson's Republican challenger Kevin Stitt is also rallying for support across Green Country. On Saturday morning, he posed with volunteers in Tulsa who were making calls to voters and canvassing neighborhoods. Stitt says if voters want change, they should look to a political outsider to deliver it.
I am so different than the current administration or the administration before that. People are tired of career politicians.
A motorcyclist is in the hospital in critical condition after a crash near the Gilcrease Expressway and Peoria. Tulsa police say on Saturday evening, the motorcycle rider hit the back of a car that was turning into the Dollar General there and was thrown from his motorcycle into oncoming traffic. That victim was hit by a car and dragged along the pavement for a short distance. Officers say at this point it looks like speed and wet roads are to blame. The Oklahoma Special Olympics are gearing up for a big season ahead. Several teams kicked off a basketball tournament yesterday. News on 6's Allie Brooks caught all the action at the Santa Fe Family Life Center. The Special Olympics is hosting one of their biggest events of the year, the Winter Games, in January. The deadline to register is December 1st. Hundreds of students are going bananas over one school leader's act of kindness. Cafeteria manager Stacy Truman decided to write motivational messages on at least 50 bananas last week. What's going on with the weather for now? I know freeze coming up. I've got my snowflake earrings on.
Yeah, you're in the season. I like it. Yeah.
Proving one person's disgust is another person's dinner. Tina Kraus, CBS News.
Don't think I'll be going there anytime soon. But on the sweeter side of food, police officers were hanging out at donut shops, but they weren't eating donuts. Instead, they were raising money for the Special Olympics. The longtime head of IMSA has died. A company spokesperson confirmed Steve Williamson, who headed the company for almost 40 years, has passed away. Under his leadership, the business grew to include Bixby, Jinx, Sand Springs, and Oklahoma City. All right, Stephen, thank you very much. Looking forward to it, I guess. Well, thanks for being here for 6 in the Morning Sunday.